Hello, hello. Welcome to the Confidence Cure podcast with Louise. Today I have the lovely Justin Stevens that has joined me. Thank you for coming. He is an amazing coach, and we met last year somewhere in, I don't even remember where was it?
Reddit. It was in Reddit.
In Reddit, in Reddit. Yeah, so
In
thank
Reddit.
you for coming.
No
How
problem.
are you today? And how are you getting on?
Yeah, I'm all good. So yeah, excited to be here.
Thank you for coming. So I am just going to ask you, so like, why are you here today? Like, I know you're a coach and all of these things, but what's your story? How are you? How did you actually begin to be a coach?
So my background is, so I've been online coaching now for 5 years. Um, and I've always been into kind of the fitness world, training, very passionate around nutrition, but never did it as a career. And it's always been kind of my why and my anchor and my get up and go for the day in terms of filling yourself, attending and working on yourself and your goals and your training and working towards certain things. And I've always been in kind of just kind of your normal jobs and stuff. And then um, I was like, kind of got out of shape myself. I think we all do, don't we, at certain periods of our lives.
Definitely.
Um, and then I had this horrendous photo taken of me on a works leaving do, which was then slapped on Facebook at the time. And I saw it the next morning and I generally thought, oh my God, what have you done? Well, I didn't think I looked that bad until that photo. And that was kind of my wake up call. And I not long found out I was going to be a dad at that point as well. So that was the moment I've got to sort my shit out really. Uh,
Hmm.
and I seek support in terms of a coach myself then, in terms of like just help me out with the diet and stuff, just to keep me accountable to things. And I think I was around 17 stone back then. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I was a big unit, and there was this horrendous picture of me on because it was midsummer, and we went on this like camping trip for this works leaving do, and I'm in this tight white vest, and I just looked horrendous.
I think I've actually seen that picture.
And come to say think of it, I'm putting a post out tomorrow, and like a carousel post, and I'm putting that photo on.
But
Oh, yeah, the carousel.
Yeah, one of the photos is of me in that vest, so you'll see that tomorrow when I post it. Um, but yeah, that was the wake up call, and it was like, so I seeked help from a coach myself then, just to kind of help me with the nutrition, just keep me accountable and just give me ideas around how to kind of stay on track with that job I was in at the time, because it was working within the police force. It was a lot of shift work, nights, quite a stressful role. And you know what people at nights when it's a quiet night, people bring in bad foods, and you just because you eat it out of boredom and the social pressure of it and stuff. So yeah, I went on a journey like over the next 12 months to at the time I got in the shape of my life, and I wanted to do it as well for I was going to be a dad for the first time. So that was my goal date, was like I want to be in the shape of my life at that time by the time my daughter was born. And
Mhm.
yeah, I fast forward the 6 months, 6, 7 months. Yeah, I nipped down to like 13 stone. So I dropped like 4 stone.
Okay. Yeah.
Completely revamped my mindset around food and just my passion even more for training, and just documented the journey at the time a little bit, because obviously social media wasn't massive back then, but putting the odd picture up in here and progress and stuff, pictures and stuff like that. And I just continued with that. Um, and yeah, I just got then fast forward a few more years, I wanted to escape that job, and I wanted to start taking personal training, fitness stuff as a career. So I got myself qualified as a PT over like the next 6 months whilst working that and having a newborn baby and stuff like that. But when I qualified, I didn't know what to do, because when you do your PT course, they don't teach you about business and stuff. They're like, right, here's your certificate, off you go, bye.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I've got, a 1 year old here now.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I'm not business orientated at all at that time. And I was like, I don't know what to do now. What do I do? So I just kind of carried on with what I was doing, because, just got stuck in the shift pattern, getting 4 days off a week. And it worked well around the childcare with my work wife's shift patterns and stuff. So just for the next like 4 or 5 years, I just carried on doing that. And then just before lockdown happened, I hired another coach like a year before the first lockdown, because I wanted to eventually step on stage myself.
Mhm.
I wanted to kind of test the waters with it in terms of a prep thought to getting on stage. So I hired myself a coach to work towards just to get in shape for a holiday. But I said to him, I want to treat this like it's a proper prep for stage because I want to do it in the future. And that's what we did. So again, it got me into incredible shape for that specific holiday. And I loved the whole process of being coached and stuff like that. And I learned so much about myself, about the process of it, a lot more around nutrition, and having two coaches, at that time, learning different things from those two as well. And obviously going through the PT course and stuff like that. And that's when I decided I want to take this as a career now. So that was like to the end of 2019.
Mhm.
That's when I started getting things in place, working on it, getting the systems in place to kind of coach people, then working with people for free just to kind of get a client base and getting some results, documenting their journey. And then obviously the first lockdown came and it just kind of, I think lockdown kind of helped in that way because obviously people were kind of themselves getting out of shape through the lockdown, in that, especially in that
Mhm.
first one. And just because I started like throwing out some results from the people I work for free, I kind of get the odd inquiry and just started taking on people and just charging a small amount per month. And it just naturally grew from there. And it just carried on growing and growing. So that first lockdown was kind of a given for me because it helped me grow the business. So I'm quite thankful for that period of time because I think if that never have happened, like COVID and stuff, I don't think I'd probably be here doing this.
A lot of people are really thankful for COVID. Like I am. Like a really good thing.
Yeah,
That time.
it was
It,
a bad time for people, and obviously not allowed to go out and not exercising and stuff like that. And just people just ate and ate for comfort, I think, and through boredom and that 4 or 5 month lockdown, just people just put a lot of weight on, unfortunately, and that's when we came out of that first lockdown. That's when I started really getting some serious inquiries about what I did, and it just grew for the rest of that year and into like 2021. And that's the year I did my competition and myself documenting that journey even more. I think just exposed myself to people through my socials. Like this guy knows what he's doing. He's getting on stage himself. He's done a few transformations prior to this himself. He's got these results as well, and it just it just naturally grew. And then in 2022, at the start, I kind of the business got to a point where I had a good client base, and I was able to give it my full-time role.
how did that feel? Like giving up your full-time role?
The scariest thing I've ever done, honestly, and it still hits me today.
What was so scary about it? Obviously, because what was you doing at that point during lockdown? You was in the police, wasn't you?
So I was in the police force for 10 years, and I left that role in 2019, and I went into a children's social care role from 2019 to 2022 when I completely left employment. So complete like different roles, but also very challenging roles and very needed a high level of skill to deal with certain situations and stuff like that. So I think those roles have helped me in terms of what I do, in terms of communication and dealing with people's needs and as an individual. So, but yeah, that moment I kind of handed my notice in that job, and then the very first day of not being employed and being self-employed, that morning was just like the scariest thing and the most anxious thing ever because the safety net of employment was gone.
Yeah.
Salary wasn't coming in no more. So luckily, from the years of coaching up to that point, the money I made from coaching was put away into savings. So
Yeah.
so I had a bit of a safety net with that, just in case it did go wrong.
Yeah.
But it just carried on growing and growing through the rest of that 2022. and here we are today, 3 years later, and business has grown and grown and grown over those 3 years, and client base has risen every single year. Obviously, more results, more people work with over those 3 years, but yeah, I think the anxiety still of self-employment today still gets to me now.
Okay. In what, so if you looked at like stability within your job and stability within self-employment, what would be your views now compared to a few years ago before you quit your job?
Yeah, I mean, employment's never safe, is it really?
No, you can be made redundant like that.
Of course you can, and you know, a lot of jobs you're just a number, and if you leave a job or they sack you, whatever reason, you'll be replaced in a week.
Exactly.
So yeah, so yeah, again, it's never. But I think people get it in their head that it is safe.
Yeah. No.
But when you're in self-employment, it's your own baby, it's your own business. You know, you obviously can set your own working hours and stuff like that, and just in your calendar and your diary. But it's your business to work on, and you do it the way you want to.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've massively learned.
Yeah, and do you know, like when all the mortgages went up, like was it last year or this year, where the mortgages went up, and you could see that people that were employed really did struggle because they're not going to get a pay rise just because your mortgage has gone up. But like people that are self-employed, they're like they've got the opportunity to generate a little bit more money if they need to. They might just need to. Do you see what I mean? They might just need to get an extra couple of clients, or they might need to get another source of income in that way. But they've got the opportunity to do that. But when you're fully employed, you are kind
You're
of
set to that salary, aren't you? And
yeah.
you may get that one increase per year,
Yeah.
a certain percentage, which, you know, I think the way taxes rise, they take that off you anyway, so you don't actually earn more.
Exactly. And I've just literally just had a client who got a very, very good job, and he's literally just been made redundant. You'd never think it. He is one of the top IT people, like very good job, well off. And then he just they let people go a few months ago, and he came see me and he was like, "Oh my God, no, it's happened, been made redundant." And it's literally taken him, and 4 months later he is still unemployed. Like,
4 months.
yeah, because his job is quite high. Like, so it takes like they have like so many different interview processes. So it takes like 3, 4 interviews to get in, and you have to, and every single thing is a different topic. So you have to prepare for it and stuff. And it was like if you fail at one of them because it's such a high, what's the word? A lot of people want the job. It's just
Competition with a job, yeah.
yeah. So and because there's a lot of redundancies being made in that area, maybe because of like ChatGPT and like AI and all that. I don't know. I'm noticing a lot in IT, but he's very high where he works every like he tells me the things he does, and I'm like, that's crazy. But he can't get a job, and you would think with his qualifications, his background, and all of these things, it's not safe.
Yeah, yeah. I had a client this year actually lost their job, you know, he lost his job around March time, and still today can't find something.
Yeah.
He's even applying for jobs like delivery drivers and stuff just to get an income.
That's I advise that as like something is better than nothing, where you find like what you actually do deserve. Like and then obviously we can advise them to go self-employed, like maybe because that won't happen again. You can't be made redundant from your own business.
True.
You know what, you're not having a good day today, you're sacked. Like you can't do that. So yeah, I think me personally think self-employment is more safe. I didn't think that, well, I did think that a long time ago, but it wasn't until I'd done it all by myself that
Yeah,
and I've seen how like things have changed over the last few years.
yeah.
When
If
I,
you if you keep doing your daily tasks and stuff,
yeah,
and getting and providing a good service to your customers and your clients, you know,
yeah,
you're gonna have business.
I do relate though to the anxiety of quitting your job and going fully self-employed. Like if you've done it, it takes people that achieve things, they have to take risks. And I don't think people understand what them risks make you feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
For me,
remember.
it was a huge risk. We've all got rent to pay, mortgages, so mortgages, 2 children to
Yeah,
feed and to do
I
everything.
I quit mine. I was making £120 from my coaching, and I literally just quit my job with the mortgage to pay at the end of the month. I was like, I don't know
No
how.
way.
Because I don't know how I'm going to do this. Like, I don't know how, but I will. Like, literally made the decision, and the how just literally just came later. And I was just like, and I've never been in the industry either at that point. So it was
Did you
just,
have some money behind you?
no, it was all in the house, like in the property. So I'd not long been here as such. So
And you were getting £120 a month from just coaching?
yeah, that was the
That
answer.
is for it.
I know that was next level. Like, oh my God, what am I going to do? There was a lot of sleepless nights. But we made it work. You make the decision. Now I know every time I make a decision, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I just know I'm going to be able to do
I
it.
think sometimes having that pressure, it depends on the individual, doesn't it? Some people thrive under pressure, some people crumble.
I think I'm like that.
Yeah, and I think if you've got that pressure to go out and get it and work hard, that pressure will work and you'll be successful with it. But there's
Yeah,
some people who just sit on it and just worry and then crumble and then just
yeah. No, I'm kind of like that. I feel like as soon as I get like stable, I'm just like I relax a little bit and like I do everything I need to do. But you can see how like it's a lot more productive if I've got like a deadline or something. I was like it when I was at uni. Do you know like when all nighters when you have to do like assignments and stuff like this? That's just the way. I think everybody's different though. So
yes, yeah. Oh, fair play to you though. You've done well there.
we both have. What's next in your business then? What's your plan?
Um, so I'd like to start doing like group photo shoots for clients. That
Hmm.
would be a big thing for me because I enjoy photo shoot experience. I do individual ones at the moment. So
Yeah.
when when people come on board with me, it's all just about improving, their lifestyle, the way they move a day, their training, their nutrition, the way they eat and stuff. Um, but when it comes to photo shoots, they don't actually directly come to me for that. It's something we just discuss as the journey progresses,
Hmm.
like to showcase their journey with a photo shoot. And some take it up, and obviously we get that done. But for me, I think doing like regular photo shoots throughout the year as a group thing and
Yeah.
a group program for photo shoots, that would be really cool. So people come directly in because they want to do the photo shoot. Yeah. So that's what's something I want to work on.
And that in itself will like bring people's confidence up, seeing themselves the
Of course it is.
where they've started. So obviously you've been on a weight loss journey where you are from where you used to be. I bet that's done so much for your like confidence and you wouldn't be doing what you're doing now because you've done that. So imagine what it's going to be like for them.
Exactly. And I do when I take them through it and I'll say to them, you will have that wow factor, like that I can't believe this is me moment. Like when those shots are taken and the photographer takes you over to his laptop to show you that photo he's taken, like their jaw drops because they just can't believe it's them. And like, they're all glammed up. Or if it's a man, they've got the shirt off and they're lean, they've got their abs out. But then you rewind back, 16, 20 weeks to where they started, where they've got high body fat levels and stuff like that, and they just can't believe, yeah, that's my
Yeah.
physique where I am today. I just can't believe it. And then they have those professional shots to take away with them to last a lifetime for them to look back, and
And
that it's such a buzzing feeling.
it will
Not for
give.
them, just for them, but for me to see them go through it.
Yeah. What does it do for you then? Because obviously you've gone through your own journey, you've gone on stage, you've done that, and then you're actually helping people do, like walk the same walk you've kind of done. How does it like what do you get?
Satisfaction, brilliant. I absolutely adore it. Do you know what I mean? You know, I know how it feels to be not confident and not happy and about your physique and stuff like that, and just what you hate, hate seeing what you see in the mirror about yourself, to then go through a journey and then actually like be happy with what how your body is looking,
Mhm.
and then take people through that same feeling. And like, as you'll know through the coaching process, you'll get random messages off clients just saying, oh my God, I've weighed myself today. It's the lightest I've been in years. Oh, these clothes that never used to fit now are hanging off me. I've been clothes shopping today to buy new clothes. My confidence is flying. Those messages just like reinforce it, don't they, to you, why you do this. And
Yeah.
you're providing a life-changing service because so many people, they try this, getting in shape stuff on their own, but they just end up not getting anywhere because they don't have the knowledge potentially around exercise, nutrition, and being able to stick to it long term. And then they just end up in that cycle, and they just never seem to change. And then coming into your service and you ironing out all that stuff and getting them from A to B finally, there's no better feeling. So it is a life-changing service what we provide. Really is.
Yeah, so if they're feeling good about themselves and self-belief, and I find, I don't know if you agree with this, but I find like even if you've just started, doesn't have to be weight loss, it can be with absolutely anything. As soon as they start believing that they're doing something correctly and they're doing things right, they start to get confidence in them. So it's like a domino effect in the rest of life. So like you'll see that the careers get better, the home life gets better, they're doing more social stuff because they're not hiding away as much.
Yeah, yeah. And their day-to-day energy flies. You know, when you're putting good food in your body and you wake up with a spring in your step.
Exactly. But going back to like when you had your children and stuff, because I spoke to you before, and one of your momentum, again with my words, I told you I'm dyslexic, but I've always known that. But when I spoke to you before, you was very much talking about your children quite a bit, and how you love to be like the role model for them and have the confidence that they're going to be following in your footsteps and stuff. So you kind of had like that superhero cape. How do you utilize that through your clients, your kids, your life?
So in my program, I also become a superhero, because I feel like that when you do get in shape, not only do you have the physical side of it, but also the other side of it. And your kids will always watch you and absorb what you do, because they're like a sponge. So they will start copying you and stuff like that. And you want to be at the school gates and go, oh, there's my dad, he's the superhero to me in my life.
Yeah.
They will follow your footsteps with it. And I will say, like, especially with the photo shoot side of it, you will stand there to become a hero, and to wear that cape sort of thing in your life and in your personal life to your partner and your children. And they will then follow that footstep. Like I said, they will absorb everything you do. You don't just tell them, they'll just watch you. They will. They'll watch you get up, they'll watch you go out and do your steps, they'll watch what you put on your plate, they'll watch that you go to the gym. And they'll, my lad's been to the gym with me a couple of times. He's only 10, but he's watched it. And he was the first time I took him in at the start of this year, he was just like amazed by it. His eyes lit up. He was just loving it. He was just like, he just sat there and watched me train, because he had a day at school. So I brought him with me, and he was just like loving it, and like he loved the atmosphere of it, the music, and he was just watching other people and what they do in the gym. And then we went on a holiday at the start of the year. I took him to, he actually asked me, because there was a gym on site on the hotel. And he said, "You're going to the gym in the morning?" And he got up with, because when I'm on holiday, I train really early, so it just doesnly impact the day and stuff like that with holiday. And he actually asked me the night before, "You going in the gym in the morning?" I was like, "Yeah, of course. Why? Of course I would. Of course I am." And he got up with me, at 5 a.m. to come to the little gym with me, and he was on the little treadmills. He was, doing some leg work. Yeah. And it's
good, because that's going to roll into his life. Like I always say, like obviously I'm glad everything happened the way it happened. Like I learned to love the gym, but like it would have been so much easier if I'd have just had it as an upbringing. So it was just like my second nature of always doing it. Now it's second nature because I've literally had to work hard. Like I used to, the thought of exercising, I used to hate. Like I was the one person that used to wag like PE lessons at school, or I forgot my PE bit or my spoon. I was that person. But like I always wish if I was a lot younger when I got into the habit, imagine the confidence of going through your life. It just, like, so doing it younger, what you're doing is really good.
Yeah, I think your training and stuff like that, or whatever way you're doing it, should be obviously enjoyable. But if you can get it into your day in your life as a habit that's, like you said, second nature, you don't think about it, it's part of a day you look forward to, and it never becomes a chore.
Exactly.
It will just, it will just be in your day as you would going to work or going to an appointment or a meeting, whatever. And I do say that to people, like clients, put your gym in your planner, put your gym as an appointment, because otherwise you'll talk yourself out of it if you're not feeling motivated that day.
Stick to it. But yeah, I was going to say, do you know, like, even when you are like going to the gym, and it needs to come to a place where I like to get my clients to the point where they miss it if they haven't been. So if they're not going to the gym, they can feel the difference. And sometimes I kind of like that, because I've kind of like that, the fact that they've had to notice that, oh, the gym is actually helping me out. I want to go back and feel like that.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
You know, walking through the gym door some days is sometimes the hardest part, but once you're there and you're a couple of exercises in, you'll be pleased you'll be there, and whatever stress you had before, or low motivation, whatever, will be gone. And I've never met one person on this earth that's regretted a workout. It just doesn't happen. But you'll always walk out the gym after you've done your training feeling great, endorphins are flying, everything, you know, adrenaline's going, you'll feel good.
Exactly.
You're not going to get in the car after and go, oh, I hated that. I wish I never did that. It just don't happen.
Like, what do you recommend to your clients that have never stepped foot in the gym? Like, how do you like give them the confidence and just be like, what do you recommend?
So it's just starting off small for them. So just very basic kind of training program for them, just to build their confidence up, and finding times of the day that isn't too busy to cause overwhelm and stuff like that. And just go in and just experiment first, and just try some machines and stuff like that, just to build that confidence up. And then just the feeling you're going to get from that, just remember that next time you go. And once you've got that, you know, first 2-3 weeks done under your belt, and you got the momentum, it just then spirals up.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I always try and tell them, like, don't worry, like, we've all started from somewhere. Everybody in the gym already that looks like they know what they're doing, you don't even know if they're doing it right. And plus, they would have started from somewhere at some point as well. Like, we've all had our first day.
Of course we have. It's like driving a car. You all have to start somewhere.
So you will be there.
And there's no right or wrong way around training. You do what you want to do to, you know, as long as it's moving, you're progressing and moving forwards. No right or wrong. There's no, oh, this is the right training split to do. This exercise is better than that exercise. That's rubbish. What works for you in terms of your experience, the way you move, the weight in the gym, and what you enjoy. That's the main factors.
Exactly this. What is so like you coming from where you come from the police in your other job role, to now doing your full-time coaching business with kids and keeping the house and all of that. What has that done for you? Like your confidence?
That I can do this. Do you know what I mean? It's you've got to have a strong head, I think, in terms on your shoulders, because you know you've got a business to run, you've got clientele to look after, to make sure they're, you know, doing the best they can, and also yourself personally, looking after yourself and obviously your family. And that's why I always start my day off with like a 30 to 45-minute walk in the morning, just to get myself out, rather than just getting out of bed, going straight down and sitting in front of the TV or whatever. I get up a little bit earlier just to start the day off with a win. Just get myself moving, get some sunlight, and kind of plan my day in my own mind. That's the first thing I'll do, is like I'll just plan, right, what have I got on today, and just plan my day in like in a calendar, so I know what I'm doing. Like get back, get ready for the day, get the kids ready for school, take them to school, and then crack on with my working day. So that morning walk for me, I know you see all this stuff on social media now, get up at 3:30, jump in an ice bath and dip your face in the cold water. Do you know what I mean? These sorts of things. For me, that's my morning routine.
I'm similar to you. I go up at 5. If I had to get up at 3:30 in the morning, I'd be going to bed at 6 p.m.
Exactly, I know. But you know, that's the latest, that's the thing that's come out this year. And but for me, that's my way of kickstarting my day, my routine. And it's just going for a simple walk.
Yeah. No, so now you've got that belief that you can do it because you've seen yourself do it, like going into something new. So your group photo shoots and business and all of that. How I know you said like we all still have the self-doubt with business and we all get that little bit of anxiety kind of feeling. What has it done for any future projects?
I think if you put your mind to something, the confidence in yourself to do it, and belief in your product, it will work. I think.
I
So
think.
you think it will work. I changed that phrase.
It
That
will
word.
work. It will work. If
Of
you
course it
already,
will. You know, if you've started a business from scratch and you've built it up to a certain position, it just shows what you do and the way you do things
Mhm.
works. You just need the time, the patience, and the consistency to do it. It's the same with fat loss, muscle building. It's time, patience, and consistency.
Mhm.
And it's the
Exactly.
same with business.
So you're actually proving to yourself that you've already done it. It's just you're just learning reps. That's all.
Yeah. We're always learning every day. I'm learning every day around business, myself, and how to do things. And you're going to make mistakes. We all do along
Mhm.
the way, but that's the mistakes you make is what you learn from, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is the thing. I think people are. This is a really good point, actually. Like a lot of people are scared to even start because of that perfectionism. But I don't think people realize when you do start something, it has to be a little bit messy. 'Cause then you can learn from it, and then you. That's how it does. But I think people don't start because they're like, no, it has to be like this because I don't want to look bad or I don't want to do this. I always say, like even with socials, when I first started doing my socials, it was like I had about 100 followers that were predominantly dogs, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. It has to be messy. Everything like my podcast now, the very, very early, I've just started what they're going to be like in a year's time. It's messy, like at the start. You have to just start. And I think a lot of people don't have the confidence in themselves that they can actually grow from that. They're not prepared to be messy.
I mean, the first day of starting doing content and video content. But when I started all this, 5, 6 years ago, video wasn't really the thing for content. It was all
Pictures.
your Canva posts and pictures and written captions. And then I think it was around 2021 where video started getting a bit more popular and coming out in the content world. And I, looking back at my first, like, say, 5 to 10 videos, oh my God.
I remember the first time I did my first one, I remember putting it up and switching my phone off. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like, I literally didn't know what to do. And now just look like there's still room for a lot of growth, but looking at it from then, it's been messy. And every time I've changed like something, it's been messy. And then I'm like, okay, I need to improve. What can I learn from that? With absolutely everything, my coaching, podcast, writing, it's got to be messy to learn.
And it's the same with everything you put in, it's always going to be rubbish at the start, but the more you do and putting the reps with it, it will always get better. And you just improve year on year with it.
Yeah, confidence wasn't built by just like it doesn't just come overnight. It just comes by putting the reps in, starting, building it from there. But yeah, what's next for you then? So I know you want to be doing your photo shoots. What else in life? What are you going to be doing? Are you holidays, moving anywhere? What are you doing?
I
Anything?
want to go on as many holidays as possible.
Okay.
That's the thing for me is spending good quality family time on holidays and making memories. That's the thing. And I think holidays are the best thing in the world.
Yeah, no, literally. Yeah.
In another country, experiencing the local area, local food and stuff like that, sightseeing, seeing the world really.
Yeah.
Because it's when you're in employment, you obviously only get so much holiday a year.
Exactly.
So it's hard to travel, isn't it? As
Yeah.
what we do, we've obviously got a bit of location freedom. We can still run our business, serve our clients wherever we want to in the world, really. So, yeah, definitely more holidays, and just taking the kid and giving them the experiences as well of seeing different countries as well.
Yeah, that would be good for them. Like you said, they're following in your footsteps. So then the world is their oyster. If they don't see it, they're not going to know that.
No, definitely. I think if I would love to see more of the world when I was younger, definitely.
Yeah, but now you've got the opportunity to be like, right, I can change that.
Yeah, of course. Just like business, it can always grow.
Everything's always growing, everything. But no, thank you so much for coming on. It's been great to have you.
Pleasure. Enjoyed it.
If anyone wants to get in contact with you, where can they find you?
So my Instagram is @coached by Just. So working with men and female, all around fat loss, muscle building, improving their lifestyles, and getting the shape of your life.
And be a superhero as well.
And then be a superhero at the end of it. Yeah, of course.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.